Um, Today we are going to see that how to solve a problem in diesel cycle, right? Diesel cycle consists of four processes. That is in PV diagram, it is clearly mentioned like. So 1 to 2 is isentropic compression. 1 to 2 is isentropic compression. Then 2 to 3 is constant pressure heat addition. 3 to 4 is isentropic expansion, and 4 to 1 is constant volume heat rejection. Okay, right. So now we will see the problem. The volume ratios of compression and expansion for a diesel cycle as measured from an indicator diagram are 15.3 and 7.5 respectively. The pressure and temperature at the beginning of compression are 1 bar and 27 degrees Celsius. Assuming an ideal engine, determine the mean effective pressure, the ratio of maximum pressure to mean effective pressure, and cycle efficiency. Also find the fuel consumption per kilowatt hour if the indicated thermal efficiency is 0.5 of ideal efficiency, mechanical efficiency is 0.8, and the calorific value of oil is 42,000 kilojoules per kg. Assume for air at constant pressure specific heat is 1.005 kilojoules per kg Kelvin, and specific heat at constant volume, that is heat rejected at constant volume now. So specific heat at constant volume is 0.718 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. Then indicate that is index value is gamma is equal to 1.4. Okay, the given data is like we know that V1 by V2 is compression ratio, that is 5.3. It is denoted as R. Okay, then 4 by 3 V4 by V3 is equal to 7.5. Right. The initial conditions before compression, pressure is 1 bar and temperature is 27 degrees Celsius. If you convert it into Kelvin, it comes like 27 plus 273, it is 300 Kelvin. Then Cp is 1.005 kilojoules per kg Kelvin, and Cv is equal to 0.71 kilojoules per kg Kelvin, and the calorific value C is equal to 42,000 kilojoules per kg, right? Right. So mean effective pressure. So mean effective pressure is the ratio of work done to stroke volume. That is work done by stroke volume, right? So work done is heat supplied minus heat rejections. That is heat supplied at constant pressure and heat rejected at constant volume. So heat supplied minus heat rejections, that is Qs minus Qr, where Qs is equal to m into Cp, constant heat specific heat at constant pressure, into T3 minus T2. Okay, T3 minus T2. Similarly, heat rejection, that is m into Cv into T4 minus T1. Okay, from the process 1 to 2, PVT relations, and if you consider temperature and volume, that is T2 by T1 is equal to V1 by V2 to the power of gamma minus 1, right? Therefore, T2 is equal to T1 into R to the power of gamma minus 1, since V1 by V2 is equal to R, that is compression ratio. Okay, so R. Then substitute the values, that is T1 is equal to 300, Kelvin into R 15.3, then 1.4 minus 1. Therefore, if you calculate this, we will get the value of T2 is equal to 893.3 Kelvin. Okay, right. Now we will calculate the then process 2 to 3. 2 to 3 is constant pressure process, that is P2 V2 by T2 is equal to P3 V3 divided by T3. As it is a constant pressure process, P3 is going to be P2 is equal to P3. Okay. So now we can rewrite this as V2 by T2 is equal to V3 by T3. Therefore, T3 is equal to V3 by V2 into T2. Okay. So in the expansion process we can write like this. In the expansion process we can write like this. So from the expansion process, you see that from the expansion process, V4 by V3 is equal to V1 by V3, right? Since V4 is equal to V1, that we can see it from the diagram, that is V4 is equal to V1. Okay, so V1 by 3. This if you multiply by V2 in the numerator and denominator, so this can be rewrite as V1 by V2 into V2 by V3, right? So V4 by V3 can be written like this. Okay. So now this can be written as V3 by V2 is equal to V1 by V2 into V3 by V4. Okay. So this can be written like this. Now we know that V1 by V2 is equal to R. So substitute the value of R here, 15.3, right? Because since V1 by V2 is equal to R is equal to 15.3, that is compression ratio. Okay. Now, so V4 by V3 is expansion ratio, which is given in the problem itself, right? Now it is V3 by V4 here. So 1 by we can write it as 1 by V3 by V4. So we will get the value as 7.3, which is given in the problem. So if you calculate this, we will get 2.04. Okay. Now by substituting these values with this value in this equation, right? In this equation, we will be getting the T3. Okay. So T3 is equal to that is V3 by V2 into T2. V3 by V2 is 2.04, where T2 is equal to 893.3 Kelvin. Okay. So with this we can calculate the value of T3. T3, if you calculate this, you will be getting T3 as 1822.3 Kelvin. Okay, right. This is T3, right? Okay. Now we have to find out the value of T4, where T4 by T3 is equal to V3 by V4 to the power of gamma minus 1. Okay. So where this is given in the problem itself, that is 1 by 7.5 to the power of 1.4 minus 1. So that T4 is equal to T3 into 1 divided by 7.5 to the power of 0.4. So substitute the value of T3 here, 1 1822.3 into 1 divided by 7.5. 7.5 to the power of 0.4, we will get 813.8 Kelvin. If you calculate the value, you will be getting this value, guys. Okay, is this clear? Now it is easy for us to calculate the. So before that we have to calculate the M value, that is mass flow rate. So considering the process 2 at the destination 2 we are going to take the value, right, because mass is always constant throughout the cycle. So M is equal to P2 V2 divided by RT2. Okay, so assuming that V2 is equal to 1 meter cube. Okay, assuming M is equal to 1 meter cube. Okay, substitute this value. P2 we can calculate from this, right? We can calculate P2 as P2 V2 to the power of gamma is equal to P1 V1 to the power of gamma. Okay, so here P2 is equal to V1 by V2 to the power of gamma into P1. Okay, so P1 is given in the problem. We know the value of V1 by V2, that is R, that is 15.3 to the power of 1.4 into 1 bar. Okay, because initial condition of the pressure before compression is 1 bar. So if you calculate, we will get the P2 value as 45.56. Okay, 45.56 bar. Okay, now we are going to substitute that value here, that is 45.56 into V2 is 1. Okay, so we are going to convert this into Newton per meter square, that is into 10 to the power of 5, then into 1 divided by R is equal to R is universal gas constant, that is 287 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. Okay, right. So substitute that value here into T2 is 893.3. So M, if we calculate these values, we will get M as 17.77 kg. Okay, 17.77 kg. Now with this we can calculate the work done. Right. So work done, already we discussed that work done is equal to heat supplied minus heat rejected, that is M into Cp. At constant pressure we are adding the heat, that is specific heat at constant pressure is Cp. Okay, into T3 minus T2 minus M into Cv, because heat is rejected at constant volume. So T4 minus T1. This you can see here from the diagram itself. Okay, that is heat rejected at constant volume, heat added at a constant pressure. Okay, so M into here heat supplied equation is M into Cp into T3 minus T2. Here M into Cv into T4 minus T1, that is heat rejection. So this is what we are going to use here. So take M commonly outside, then Cp into T3 minus T2 minus CV into T4 minus T1. Okay. Now substituting this value, that is 17.77, Cp is 1.005, T3 is 1822.3 minus 893.3 minus 0.718, that is Cv value which is given in the problem. Then T4 is equal to 813.8, okay, Kelvin, right, minus T1 is equal to 300, right. So if we calculate this, we getting the value as 10,035 kilojoules. Okay, so this is work done. Right. The mean effective pressure. Now we are going to calculate the mean effective pressure. Mean effective pressure is equal to work done by stroke volume. Stroke volume mean, from the PV diagram you can easily understand that. So from the PV diagram, that is this is the stroke volume, that is 1 to 2, where the piston moves from 1 to 2 is the stroke volume, and this is the clearance volume. Like a stroke volume is V1 minus V2. V1, that is total V1 minus V2 is the stroke volume. Okay, right. Now, so we know that already we have find out the value for work done, that is 10,035 minus V1 minus V2. So we already know that V1 by V2 is equal to R, right. So V1 by V2 is equal to 15.3, where V1 is equal to V2 into 15.3, that is 15.3 E2. Okay, substitute that value here, right. 10,035 by V1 is equal to 15.3 V2 minus V2. Okay, right. Now we take that V2 commonly outside, 0.035 V2 into 15.3 minus 1. Okay, now that is V2 is equal to 1 meter cube, no? 10,035 divided by 14.3. Okay, 14.3. Since V2 is equal to 1 meter cube. Okay, since V2 is equal to 1 meter cube, right. So we will be getting the value as 701.7 kilonewton per meter square. So if we divide this by 100, we will be getting 1.017 bar. Okay, so converting that into bar. Okay, so mean effective pressure is 7 bar. So what is second thing asked in the mean effective pressure we have found out. Now we are going to find out the pressure ratio, which is asked in the problem. Pressure ratio to, that is maximum pressure to mean effective pressure, that is P2 by, P2 is the maximum pressure in the cycle. You can see this, right. So P2 is the maximum pressure in the cycle. Okay, so P2 is equal to P3, P2 or else P3. Okay, right. So P2 by mean effective pressure, that is like 7 pressure 45.56 divided by 7.017 bar. So the pressure ratio is 6.49. Okay, 49. So this is also asked in the problem. One mean effective pressure we have find out, then pressure ratio. Now we have to find out the cycle efficiency, right. Cycle efficiency, that is cycle efficiency of ideal cycle efficiency, that is work done by heat supplied, work done by heat supplied, okay, heat supplied. So work done is 10,035 kilojoules, then M into Cp into work heat supply, no, T3 minus T2. So substitute the values, that is 10,035 divided by 17.77 into 1.005, then T3 is equal to 1822.3 minus 893.3. So if you substitute the values, you will get the efficiency as 0.6048. So R can be written as 60.48. So this is the percentage. Now we are going to calculate the fuel consumption. Before that, we have to find out the values, so that is thermal efficiency. Indicated thermal efficiency is equal to 0.5 of ideal efficiency, which is given in the problem. So 0.5 into 0.6048. So we will be getting the value as 0.3024, or it can be written like 30%, 30.24%, okay, 30.24%, right. Now we are going to calculate the brake power. Mechanical efficiency is brake power by indicator power, okay. So that is already mechanical efficiency is given as 0.8, okay, then Vp. Now we have find out the value of indicator thermal efficiency as 0.324, right. Now with this we can calculate Bp is equal to 0.8 into 0.3024, which gives 0.242, okay. Now brake thermal efficiency formula is brake thermal efficiency. Brake thermal efficiency is Bp into Mf into calorific value, okay. C is calorific value. C is given as 42,000 kilojoules per kg, okay, right. Now this we are going to convert into hour. So Bp divided by Mf